This week we're going to talk about disconnection with connection.
What, Mom? I'm on.
I'm
on the phone right now. I don't. Are we podcasting right now?
Let's send it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys so much for joining us at Full Sun Living today. Hey, if you're listening on audio, why don't you move on over, just mosey on over to YouTube, because we have a YouTube channel.
Yes,
just
we
search in the YouTube search bar, Full Sun Living, and then you'll see our YouTube show, which is the exact same audio you're already listening to, but you get to actually watch it and see our expressions.
And see us.
Yeah.
That makes everything better.
It
so
does.
Do that. And thanks for subscribing and liking and sharing. Keep that up. We love it and we appreciate you guys.
Yes, thanks so much for being part of our community and contributing and commenting below too when there's things to be said. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Throw in your 2 cents, man.
Yeah, we all want to hear what you have to say. And just before we get started, let's say one more thing. If you have a topic that you'd like for us to cover, just comment below. If you're like, man, I'd love to hear them talk about these things. Comment below, and we actually will consider that for realsies, okay?
We will.
So today we are talking about the ever-present dilemma of connection and disconnection. Or I guess it's disconnection over connection. Basically, you have the world in your pocket. You're probably using one of these right now to watch this.
Yeah, so that's okay.
It's okay.
That part's okay.
It's okay for good things.
As long as it's us, that's fine. Anything else,
it's garbage.
Pray about it. This idea, we were chatting just a little bit about just the thought of how, even the thought of being so involved with situations. The first idea that comes to my mind is just at work in our break room. Dude, it's hilarious almost. Especially if the whole family goes to break at the same time. That's what we joke about that at work. If the family gets to have breakfast together, it's when none of the labs are running and we all get to just go eat breakfast. So anyway, so if the family's eating together and we've got all our different tables and you literally can just look around and everybody's just like this.
So connected.
And there's times where it's dead quiet in the break room and there's 12 of us in one room, all individually doing whatever.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's crazy. It's crazy that you can be in a room full of people. Nobody's actually talking to each other, but they are talking to somebody who is not with them.
Right.
Probably, and it's weird.
And every once in a while, one of us will call it out, put your phones away, people.
Yeah, let's actually look into each other's eyes. That's hilarious.
Shut up, Ken.
Yeah. Oh, man. And especially in today's world where COVID and everything like that has just caused even more disconnection.
Yeah.
So because now everybody's on Zoom.
Well, you got a green light.
Yeah.
You got a green light to not have to
Yeah, it was this is good now. Before it was we were all combating it. It was this is not good. We shouldn't be constantly on our phones
Screen
and
time.
screens and everything like that. I bet blue light glasses probably went through the roof this year.
They're all come on, we need another surge here.
Yeah, let's go. Your eyes are going to be hurting.
They're a mask mandate of no mask at that company. They're no, whatever, man. Whatever goes.
It's bizarre. Yeah. And when I think about connection, disconnection, everything like that, these phones and our computers and everything like that, they don't do what in-person relationship does. My sister-in-law, she just started with AAA in Utah. I'm going to throw her under the bus a little bit here, but
please do.
But she's working full-time remote, and we were just spending some time in Utah with her, and she was saying how she just can't handle it. She just being by herself in her house, for 9 hours out of her day, not having any face-to-face time with anybody. And people, you know, and I was like, well, yeah, what about Zoom and stuff like that? She's like, it's not real.
No.
And for people who are working remote and stuff like that, they know better than everybody else that like that digital connection is just disconnection. It's not real.
Right. And dude, even just the mismanagement of the time, even when it's not even your fault that you're trying to be like, it's just like, I think of my brother, Minnesota Brad. He's working from home.
Minnesota is his first name.
Yep. Minnesota Brad.
Minnesota Brad is
it's a long story, but
his
they
parents
met in Minnesota.
his parents were cowboys.
Yeah,
and they,
a lot of
a
a lot of cowboys, a lot of boots. So he works from home and he hates it because like the time of like, I need to, when he's like, I could just buzz by somebody's office, somebody's cubicle, whatever, and just like, hey, bop, 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 tell them something and keep going. He's like, now I got to schedule a meeting. Then I need to accept the meeting. And then it's like, whether the end of the day is when they can, it's a crazy when he tells me what he could do face to face versus what he does on, you know, on screens and stuff like that. But just that disconnection of it is huge.
It's crazy. Yeah. So
Dude, go.
You have a question? I have a question.
You have one?
Well,
young man.
My question is, how do we like move past this? You know, like how do we
have to tear down the internet, people.
Yeah, let's tear it down.
I would like to refer to the Matrix.
But this is so I'll read this and then we'll kind of get into it. But a study found that on average, a person touches their phone over 2,600 times per day.
It's a lot.
2,600 times. That's the average person. That's not even like the people that are like full on, I can't get away from my phone, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, that's not me, that it probably is you because you're probably the average.
Yeah.
But so like, what do we do to put these away?
I don't know. I don't know that anybody knows.
Yeah.
Because like, it's everything, dude. These things do everything that you want it to do. And one thing that you mentioned when we were talking is the FOMO.
Yes. Fear of missing out
That
is a huge part of it.
I honestly, I feel stupid. I'm stuttering, but I don't know how to like undo this Pandora's box that we opened is like, dude. How do you undo it? Because even like, when Bear was little, we had our iPad, which was, he just turned 10, so I'll put this in reference. Our iPad was relatively new when he was like 2. It was like a Gen 4. I don't know what it was, but it was a good one.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I don't really want you using it, bro, because you're 2 and you're going to break it. It wasn't even more of like, I don't want you using it. I was like, I just don't want you breaking the iPad.
Yeah.
So then, like at Christmas, we got him a tablet or something just kind of cheesy. He was like, I want the iPad back. He would get mad at 2 because the tablet wasn't as fast as what the iPad was. So he was just like trying to do stuff and it wouldn't. I'm like, you just have to wait a second. Like literally, you have to wait like patient. 2 or 3 seconds. But he was already conditioned for like fast stuff. So we literally sold the tablet, got rid of it because I was like, he's not going to use it.
Yeah.
But like to undo these things, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that fear of missing out it went from a fear of missing out of like an event that was happening at the school or whatever, your friends were doing all these things to like you're missing out moment by moment.
Yeah. It's like massive scale now. Like anybody and everybody is a picture of something you're missing out on. So I wrote that down as in my mind, if we could fix the FOMO in our hearts, and when we say FOMO, I already said it, fear of missing out, that's what it means. So if we could fix that in our own hearts, which for me personally, I super struggle with, I always have, because it's like, especially when you have kids, you see what other people are doing, and you guys just went on this like cross country, every national park under the sun almost, and Lydia and I both were just like, I wish we could be doing that, but we can't because we have babies, and there's that like I want to be doing this because if I do this, it will satisfy me. Right?
It's amazing the holes that we fill in our minds of what we think that we're missing out on. Because soon as our friend or like, dude, there's stuff that you and Lyd post. It's just crazy because I'm like, why are you doing that? Like what, you know what I mean? Like it's just amazing when it's like,
it's comparison mixed with a longing to be a part of everything.
And what is like the missing out of? Like, what even is it? Like, to think of like when people post stuff, you throw something up, like you throw a picture, a little video up on our Insta, and then like, I don't know, realistically, probably 10 minutes later, or if that, a half hour later, I'm popping on my Instagram to see if people saw it. Like, dude, it's weird. That's embarrassing to say out loud because you want to just be like, oh, did any of my friends see it?
Anybody think it was cool?
Did anybody think that? Anybody like that?
It goes back to it goes all the way around where it's like we have FOMO, but then we almost create FOMO. Like we want people to want to be in our world, and so there's this like perpetual like motion machine of like me. Cool. I want to be that. Like me, I want to be that, and I want to do that, and it's just all this like cylinder that's just pumping out, you know. And like, okay, so like let's stick on the idea of our vacation. So Kate and I, we did our thing. We went out to the Badlands in South Dakota. We went out to Montana to Glacier National Park, and then Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and on the way back in North Dakota. I posted two. I like making videos. You love making videos. Yeah. And I've always liked making like little family video stuff. So I'll put a couple songs to it, whatever. I did one for each day. So that way, like our trip is like documented like in a fun way. And it's quick and easy for us to how we do our stuff. And I posted two of the videos on my Instagram. And I told myself, I'm just going to say it because I don't care because it's us. Yeah.
I told myself not to post anymore personally because they're like family videos. Yeah. And they're edited. So they look easy. It just looks like every moment was awesome.
Was amazing.
You know what I mean? And it's like to put that out there, one, it's like, what am I putting out there? It's like, it's my own personal stuff. And I like it when friends and family can see stuff. But there's also something that's even cooler when I can just show you or a friend. And if someone would like legitimately ask me, hey, dude, show me like, what was that trip like? And talk to me about it, you know, like that to me was, I wanted to find more value in that. Yeah. And then instead of just putting every single day, like 12 days in a row of me being like, look at me, look at my family. Yeah. You know, but it was, I had to tell myself not to because it was almost like a natural thing. To just be like, oh, I did something fun. I'm just going to let everybody know. Yeah. You know, and like to think, and then this is hard too. Can I keep
going
chatting about nothing? It's hard, I think, too, because generations always act like theirs was okay. And now it's wrong. So then it's like, when is it, where is that line? Like to think of like, what is the outcome of what we've unleashed with these for our kids when it's their normal. Like Bear's never in his life thought you can't just pop on YouTube and watch sweet videos all day long or have like funny things. Like
the world has always been at his fingertips. Well, so we didn't have that.
We didn't have that. And then, and I can even think like for us, our 10-year gap, there's things that you were like privy to when you were, you know, coming into your teens that I wasn't. Yeah. So it's like funny to think like, what are we even comparing it to? Where it's like, well, these kids are gonna be messed up because they got no social skills because they didn't have to use a landline to call somebody. And it's like, well, so then I was thinking about that today, just when we were already talking about this topic. But like, what is it that is the, I guess the line or the boundary?
Of like returning back. What are we returning to basically?
Yeah. And then like I go to that to circle all the way back to when you said the FOMO of our hearts. Because when you said that, it reminded me of that scripture where Paul talks about, I'm content. I've learned to be content when I have a little and like when I have a lot. Like, and thinking of like, I know it seems like a stretch talking about social media, but the thought of like when you have a little bit of outlet or access to people's lives versus a lot, and like learning to being content in maybe how much you share, how much you even receive, because it's a two-way thing. Like, how many people are like, I don't have anything important to say, and I don't have a voice, and I don't have anything cool, but they are constantly pulling from all these other sources that have been edited. Like, my home videos are edited. You're not going to see the frustration of driving and the this and that. And when I almost ran us out of gas in the mountains, that was a quiet car ride for a couple hours that didn't make the edit.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. There's something about hopefully I'm not changing this, but there's something about the cheapness of connection here and the richness of connection like this. And one person I heard recently, they said, they're speaking about how like people, like Christians like us, whatever, like this, we're in a 25-minute soundbite. You know, now it's TikTok, it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. In a tiny little moment, we're giving revelation away that God gave us so quickly and so cheaply, that like that might have took somebody months, years of digging into their heart to like get, and we give it away for free.
Dude, it's connection pornography. As crazy as that sounds.
That's intense. Say it.
It sounds, but to think of that, the cheapness of it, it's not, and to just scroll, to just pop, and you're trying to.
Dude, that's real. What you just said. That's so real. But so this is what I was going to say. Like, which is what you were saying is revelation can just be given away cheap, right? But intimate connection is expensive, because it requires face-to-face contact. It's like how, so Nate came back from his trip and he had all of his home videos, and I didn't watch one of them because it showed up pretty grainy in Instagram, but I also chose like, I don't want to watch these and then just be like, well, I already saw your trip. I want to actually like sit down with you and ask you about your trip, because it's not the same if I'm just watching your video. I'd rather sit there and have you show me your video and tell me about, we woke up at 6 a.m. We went to this sunrise. And then, dude, you wouldn't even believe, like, there was horses everywhere, buffalo, and all those details that make you feel like you were there that you can't get if you're just watching a video.
No, because you start fantasizing about the concept of, gosh, it sounds so strange to say it, but you're seeing them, like you said, in these like cheap clips of life of people's, and we all do it. I do it. I am a source of it.
I have a vlog channel.
We're doing it. But it's like, and there's value there. But then when we only,
I think it's like when I look at my YouTube channel, and I look at like us videotaping our lives and stuff, and there's moments in our stuff that I cut out where it's like, I'm not going to show the clip where I had to get after Grayson for smacking his sister.
Right.
Like, you're not allowed into that place. You know what I mean? Because no one's going to watch my son get disciplined on YouTube. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's not authentic. Well, no, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to, that's too intimate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to think that I watch Ethan's YouTube channel, and so I know him, is false.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Dude.
It's to think that that's enough connection. That's why, like, I've even since I've started my YouTube channel, which you should go subscribe to.
It's really good.
But even since I've started it, it's funny how you see different people in your social circles who, like, they watch it and then you'll be talking about something, and then they're like, oh yeah, like, and they'll start saying things that were in the videos or whatever. But you can tell that it's like, okay, you actually have more connection with me with my videos than you do with me personally. And it's not that that's wrong. Like so let me make sure I'm saying this the right way. I'm not shaming them for feeling like they're more connected to me than they really are, but we have to understand we're not as closely connected if we view our connections over this. Like there's people that I'll message on Instagram or whatever, and we'll talk back and forth, but we don't talk that much in person.
Right.
And that's weird. Or like people from like our church who will text me or comment over Instagram, but they don't talk to me in person. And if I walk down a hallway and they see me, they'll ignore me.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
It's not real. You know what I mean? I think that's where it's like we have to like guard our hearts and ask ourselves, like, out of every profile that you follow, what am I trying to get here?
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that's so good.
That is.
But like walking through your social media, anything that's on your phone, like what need am I trying to have this meet right now? And then go to the Lord and say, like, Lord, what's going on here? Because, dude, even I'll get vulnerable.
Okay.
Can I be vulnerable real quick?
Yeah.
So with my YouTube channel, it's very new. But I kind of wanted, when I first set it up, I kind of wanted to have a YouTube channel that was this is just us and our family, just normal. Not like me preaching, not me talking about Jesus, just life, And then I wanted to have a separate channel that was like for speaking about Jesus and, just talking to people about the Lord and encouraging people to spend time with the Lord, blah, blah, blah. And then I was in time with the Lord this morning, and the Lord convicted me, and he was just like, if you're not going to share this, then you don't get to have it.
Yeah.
So it's intense, like we start taking things and we start pulling it towards our heart to like meet our needs, where Jesus is like, I want that. Oh man, I just feel Jesus right now. But he's like, he wants these areas in our hearts, and we start taking things that look like connection and intimacy and holding them close to our heart. And it's the same thing with my YouTube channel, where it's like, I'm doing this thing. I have this goal. I want to do this thing. This is my plan. I have a 3-year plan, blah, blah, blah. And Jesus is like, hey, slow down. This isn't going to be successful if I'm not in it, and it will also create false connection and it'll create a lot of things that it was never meant to create, And I think that's where we have to go to the Lord with everything, or else we will start making these fear of missing out or fear of not doing enough or all these weird connection things that we're trying to create. And the real connections that we're looking for are right in front of us, either in our friends or in the Lord himself.
Yeah, dude. I was thinking this, and I just tried to think of like, I don't know what, like our long-term effects, or whether good or bad or whatever. And I just wrote down the 3 things I thought of were like it's causing like a lack of relational depth, which you just touched on.
Totally.
And a lack of accountability and unstoppable comparison.
Yeah.
And that lack of accountability, to think how we just like are so like driving by each other socially, in the sense of like, you don't have to like, you can just like it. Even if you don't like it, you like it because it's like, well, we follow each other, so I gotta like it because they posted it, and like all of these different things where there's no accountability. Man, dude, for us, when we like our stuff, and we don't chat in real life, when we, that lack of accountability, it's proven. We all see how dangerous that is.
Yeah,
like
I think with that, when you said that, I thought of like back in the day, if you were going to go on your Instagram, it would have been a magazine. And so when you're holding a magazine, everybody can see what you're reading and what you're enjoying.
Yeah.
And like now it's not that way. You could be sitting across the table looking at who knows what, watching whatever you want, you know, liking the most like vulgar things ever. And no one knows because there's not a back screen to this thing, you know? And it's kind of that way. It's like, there's no accountability of being like, why are you looking at that? Like, why is that something you're like, have you ever been on Instagram and you're like scrolling through the search thing or whatever, and then you get to something that one of your friends liked and you're like, whoa, why did they like that? Because I've had that happen before where I see somebody and I'm just like, why are you liking this video of Nicki Minaj twerking it up? You know, like, you know what I mean? You're just like, okay, that's where some accountability can come in, where you're just like, whoa, you know. But it's like we have this idea that we just are in our own little,
that we can do whatever we want,
and it gets kind of scary.
Yeah.
But I like the last point you made about a comparison.
The unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
And like, to get off of the stuff, it hits on so many levels that I don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist of any sort, but the levels of like brain function that these bad boys are tapping into is like, it's scary, man. Like, it's scary how it was. For me, it went back probably like 8 years ago when I got off of Facebook. When I just took the app off my phone, I was getting in the elevator at work and I pulled out my phone for no reason. I just randomly was like, that was weird. So I just deleted it. And that day I would pull my phone out, pull my phone out to go get on Facebook. And I was just like, what the heck?
You were on autopilot, yeah.
Dude, and I was joking. I was like, this thing freaking owns me. Like, it owns me right now.
Dude.
Which, it made me mad, almost like I wanted to point it at it. Like, it was owning me. I'm like, you're not going to own me. But then it was like just the reality of like, dude, I do it with my Instagram. I was off Instagram for a long time. And then there's the benefit of it. Yeah. Like, when Kate and I started doing like different conferences and different stuff we're doing, I'm like, I'm going to log back in so I didn't have to like text friends and be like, can you post this on your social media?
Yeah.
But then now, dude, I'm back on the sauce. Like, I'm back on, like, pull it out, get on Instagram. And then I only follow like 40 people. So it takes me 1 second to look at, because I purposefully tried not to follow people, not to be mean, but like,
it'll suck you
because I know what it does. Like, for me, like, I don't want to be owned by it, but like, it's just so.
Yep. Brad Sunburg signed up like a couple weeks ago, and I texted him. I was like, Brad, don't do it.
Don't do it.
It was like, I was like a chain smoker. It was just like, you know what? Like the commercial, like, I smoked cigarettes for 50 years and now I sound like this. Like,
you're just like, Brad.
I was like, Brad, don't do it, man. The thoughts will get you, bro.
And
like,
it gets you.
It's totally. So I was just like, dude, it's a waste of time. I was like, it's not going to add any value to your life. Like, don't do it. You know, it's because it won't. Like,
doesn't. And then like, too, like, okay, we probably need to land the plane soon, but how many times we're like, but I just use it to connect with people that I wouldn't, see or do this, all this stuff. And then I'm thinking, like, call them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Text them even. Like, that's more personal than following them on their social media. But then it's got there's just such a like, it's just the weirdest thing. When you sit back and look at social media, it is bizarre because there's so many great benefits.
Yeah.
But it's
so convenient, so easy, so quick.
Man.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to balance it, but that connection, the disconnection that we have within the disconnection from connection, you got to pump the brakes. You got to look up, man.
Yep.
And maybe this is how you send it. Just start taking some apps off your phone.
Dude, totally.
And just see what owns you. And then, like you said,
what do you wake up to and immediately start looking for, and then realize, oh, it's gone. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I started as this Sunday. I started to basically, I only have like Instagram like one day of the week basically, because it's just my day to like, okay, I caught up, and then I delete it and I'm off. And then
Oh, that's fun.
so that's
Yeah.
just like a way for me to be like, I'm still there. I can still
Right.
see stuff. But then when I get back on, I've got like 15 messages from like you and other people of like funny things that they like saw throughout the week. So it's fun for me because I'm like, ooh, I get to just go through all my little emails basically.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great way of just, you know,
Dude, that's a fun way. Yeah.
yeah. And if you're on multiple social medias, it might be just time to
It
start.
might be time to look at what's up.
Cutting,
guys.
you know, just because it's most people, it's not actually adding a lot of value to your life. I will say this as well. This isn't necessarily a send it, but this is just a resource that I think would be helpful, especially with your mention of neurosciences and whatnot. If you have not seen The Social Dilemma on Netflix, I think it's a Netflix video, but it will totally make you see all of these social medias in a completely different light. I don't remember what kind of content is in there, but
I just remember the one part where the people who were building these things don't want their kids on them.
yeah,
That's a red flag, right?
yeah. Or there were people who were like grayed out, who didn't want their identities to be shown because it was like, this thing's a beast, you know. These are billions of dollars worth of industries that are designed to catch your gaze and do whatever it can do to keep you from coming off of it. So it is a big deal. So yeah, you should watch that.
Check it out, and then send it this week. Take some apps off your phone, man. Find out what owns you, because nothing should own you except for God.
Yeah, and if you're watching this video and you're still watching this video, hit the like button, because that means we did a good job and you liked this video. And make sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment below whatever you want to say about this whole topic, and we'll see you every first and third Friday of every month here at Full Sun Living.
Don't delete us.
Yeah, don't delete YouTube.